Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Antiquity, and welcome back to some more Starcraft 2. Spawning in the bottom left corner as the blue Terran on Larilat Crest is Marchj. His opponent, spawning in the top right corner as the red Terran, is none other than Lowko. Now, a little bit of background about this particular replay is Lowko had actually done this particular game on his live stream, and I'd only caught the tail end of it when he was actually watching it back, and I actually just caught how he had labeled the replay in his list. That replay was labeled, "What the fuck just happened? TVT." So I had asked Lowko to forward this replay over to me so I can cast it. He was more than happy to do so. So we're going to find out what just happened in this particular match to cause him to do that. Lowko here opening with just standard 1 barrack, 1 gas. His opponent trying to do a wall off for some particular reason against a Terran. Normally you only see this in Zerg, and that's certainly something very interesting. We'll kind of see what he does there. A little bit of scouting, and we'll soon figure out they're actually in the cross position from each other. Like I said, I haven't watched this particular replay, so it'll be interesting to find out what happened. As far as I can tell from the few comments that were made, it was just some weird gameplay going on. Looks like his opponent wanted to spawn in, wanted to come in, but didn't actually go inside the base. So he just caught just the command center. That's interesting. Didn't really kind of go in. It's like Lowko had started to do one of the expansions or one of the mods for the barracks, but then decided to cancel, saying he actually didn't really want that. That's interesting. His opponent actually completing the wall off. Again, something very interesting to see in a Terran versus Terran. Normally you don't, you only see that during Zerg. And it looks like Marchj is going to try and do a bunker contain. I can start to see where Lowko might have kind of wondered what was really going on with this. That's interesting. We'll see if that's actually going to work. And Marchj picking up a command center way away from his base. Rather than picking up in his, natural locations, he decides to go across the map. That's interesting. Lowko coming out with the just kind of a standard 1 Reaper play, a little bit of Reaper harass, but then realizes there's a bunker sitting in his natural. And he's going to see if he can try and get rid of that before things get too nasty. Marchj marching some troops across the map here to try and reinforce that bunker to see if he can actually get his contain in place. Behind all of this, Lowko is just going to go ahead and drop 2 more barracks, again, to try and get rid of that contain and be able to get actually outside his own base. And going for the early command center as well. Looks like he's trying to expand behind all of this if he can get rid of that bunker. Although he manages to easily do something like what Marchj did and go way across the map to expand. Lowko dropping his factory as well. And look at this, Marchj again doing another command center way across the map outside of anything. What is he doing? Look, they're going to go ahead and add the tech lab to his barracks, and that bunker is definitely going to go ahead and go down. It is burning in flames. Nothing you can do to save that. Might as well get your units out of there and get going. He's going to try and salvage it, and he can't. It just gets destroyed. That didn't quite work. Look, they're going to go ahead and actually go ahead and move out to his natural and get the expansion up and running. Marchj himself going to go and pick up the second refinery, and he's actually already got the engineering bay in the background behind all of that. Although I don't think we see any type of upgrades going for Marchj. Nope, not yet. He hasn't started any type of upgrading. And what is Lowko going to do with his factory? Oh, there it is. He's just going to drop it down and drop it onto the tech lab. We'll see what he decides to come out with. Definitely going to roll out some siege tanks. Very interesting game so far. Very interesting. This is going to be the interesting bit, is that we have those 2 command centers way out in the middle of nowhere. Lowko picking up the 1 additional gas on his natural expansion. So very interesting to kind of see this gameplay. Lowko trying to get a little bit of Reaper harass in there. See if he can try and do a little bit of damage. I have to imagine he's got to be wondering, what the hell? Where is his base? Where is his natural? We're almost 5 minutes into this, and he's on 1 base? That's not happening. Something really kind of odd there. He's got the planetary fortress at his main. And what is this? Yet another command center way across the map, nowhere near his natural expansions. You have to wonder, what what is his plan? What is he trying to do here? What's the game plan? And I have to wonder if Lowko's just going, what the hell is going on here? About halfway through combat shield for Lowko. And it looks like, is he going to build another? Nope, he's just bringing on the tech lab for his factory. And then drop it on some additional missile turrets, although he didn't exactly scout any type of starport coming from Lowko. Lowko just sitting on a lot of barracks units right now. Looks like he's going for that heavy bioforce. Just that heavy Marine Marauder Reaper play. I have to wonder, what is he doing? Lowko just got a couple of Reapers sitting outside Marchj's base. There's the starport. He did decide to go ahead and bring that in. And he's going to start bringing in some medevacs as well. So he's definitely going to go for that land-based bioforce. And sure enough, he picked up another one way across the map. He's not going to go anywhere near his expansions, and I'm fairly certain Lowko doesn't know about any of these. He doesn't know that there are any type of bases there. See if we can't get a little bit of Reaper harass going in. He's going to run in and see if we can't try and spot what's going on. And he doesn't see much of anything. He just gets blowed up by a siege tank. And those Reapers are gone, but he didn't pick up any type of reasonable information other than his opponent still doesn't have any type of expansions. Very, very interesting. We see Lowko pick up the additional gas in the on his natural as well, and start getting that stim pack production in place as well. And he's going to do it again. He's picked up another command center. So Marchj is sitting on 6 bases to Lowko's 2, but Lowko's got 2 bases that are close to each other, tight-knit, and have a ton of tech. He is going to drop the double engineering base, try and get the double upgrades going, while his opponent just decides to spread out everywhere. I think he's going with the strategy of, I'm just going to take over all the shit. So Lowko decided he's going to do a little bit of scouting to find out what's going on, or maybe he actually saw something going on, and I think Marchj is actually going to try and build in another command center down here, or he's going to scout out the spot for it. Nope, that was just my mistake. That was just Lowko's. Yeah, he knows there's something down here, and he's going to come down here and punish Marchj for doing this, while at the same time he's going to run across Marines to the other side of the map and just do some more punishing as well. This command center is absolutely forfeit. That thing is just going to go down. There's no question about it. If Lowko brings in the additional units here, this base is going down just the same. There's no way that planetary is going to go up in time. This one's going down as well. Lowko just punishing Marchj for trying to do this 6 base expand across the entire map. The only real expansion that Marchj has going is this one here. He's actually got something going. He's going for the triple starport, just the mass air units. Lowko just going to apply the pressure to this command center and keep it from actually doing any type of anything, while at the same time punishing this one. Oh, the planetary actually did get up. So Lowko having to do a little bit of micro on his siege tanks so he doesn't lose them. He actually just lost a ton of Marines to one of those blasts from the planetary fortress. Is Lowko going to be able to burn this down before the planetary burns all his siege tanks? Doesn't look like it. Looks like that planetary is going to hold up just fine. There is a ton of SCVs in the background repairing it, keeping it alive. Lowko just needs to go ahead and move his siege tanks out of there. Although I think he might have given up saying, you know what, those are forfeit. I'm not going to be able to keep those. He's still going to try and micro those a little bit to try and keep them. While at the same time, a huge force coming down into what I would call Marchj's natural expansion. Lowko is just rolling across all of his units to this, and he's just going to here and just start to decimate everything. SCV is desperately trying to keep that command center alive, but it doesn't look like it's going to happen. There's just too much here from Lowko. Planetary seems to be holding on, though. Out come the Banshees, and Lowko has to run home, tail tucked between his legs. Looks like Lowko actually managed to get his siege tanks out of the range of that planetary, and he's just going to continue bombarding it while Marchj just has SCVs sitting on top of it trying to keep it healed. Siege tank taken down by several SCVs. 4 SCVs will take down a siege tank in siege mode if they run in there and get it done. Looks like Lowko is going to take out his entire force again and roll it across the entire map. He is just downright dead determined to try and get rid of one of these bases up here. But it looks like he's actually going to roll into this one here. Oh, nope. He bounces out and says, no, we're not going to go for that one. I think that's it. Forget it. I need this one dead now. I'm on a little bit of vengeance. Oh, he's going to try and get a little bit of damage done from the high ground. Still going to get himself a free refinery. And he's out of range of that planetary. He's just bombarding that thing from a distance. But then come the SCVs to try and repair it. Try and keep it alive. It looks like for the moment they're doing an okay job. Oh, if Marchj's not careful, they will just stop repairing simply because it is completely repaired. At the same time, he's trying to run into some additional forces out here and try and keep Marchj from doing any more expansions. Marchj again tried to get that command center up and running. Lowko says, nope, that's not happening. Lowko is just desperately trying to make sure he can put some economic damage into his opponent and stop a lot of these expansions from going out. Cloaked Banshees are in play. And that is just going to cause some havoc for Lowko's Bioforce here without any type of detection. He decides, you know what? Alright, time to need a new plan. I'm going to go back home and regroup and come up with something else. Well, he's got some additional kind of scouting Marines. This is a very typical Lowko maneuver he usually does with his Zerglings when he's playing Zerg, but he decides to do that with Marines when he's playing Terran as well. Behind all of that, he actually, and I missed it, he actually did decide to pick up his third base and get some additional economic money coming in. This is just a very interesting game. Lowko by far has the bigger army. Marchj only sitting on 6 Banshees, 2 tanks, and 4 Marines, but Lowko has got 65 Marines, 2 Marauders, a Siege tank, 4 Vikings. Just the commanding army and the commanding supply. Marchj actually sitting at a really solid supply block right now and floating just an absolute ton of gas. You have to wonder what is it he's going to go... What is he saving all that gas for? What is he trying to go into? What exactly is his plan here? And Lowko decides to bring out the battle cruiser. Marchj picking up yet another expansion. So we are 12 minutes into the game, folks, and here is the new macro play. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 base expansions spread out everywhere. That is the new TBT gameplay. That is the new TBT plan. Lowko decided he's going to go ahead and roll out and do some type of damage somewhere. I think Lowko is still set on getting rid of these bases up here in the top left corner of this map, and sure enough, he is. Looks like that's where he's just going to kind of park. He's going to bring in a battle cruiser and see what kind of damage he can do. Realizing there are missile turrets, but those things are just going to burn it down. Marchj desperate to try and keep those by pulling everything off his mineral line to try and save his turrets. Behind all of that, Lowko deciding to pick up a 4th base as well. Time for it to do it. And here we go. Marchj picking up that bottom right corner map as well again. And Lowko's just got to be wondering, what is this guy doing? Why is he expanding so much? What is happening here? This is just getting ridiculous. I know I'd kind of be going WTF is going on with all of this. This is just insane. Lowko decided it's time to finally roll into his main base and see what kind of damage he can do. Stem into the natural, or stem into the 3rd to try and burn it down as quickly as possible. And that planetary is definitely not going to stay alive for very much longer. Down it goes. There is just too much here to stay alive from Lowko's forces. Everything at this natural is absolutely forfeit. Nothing stays alive there. But not to worry, Marchj's got 6 other bases in the background. Sorry, 7 other bases in the background. He decided to pick this one up as well, but he's got absolutely nothing going on it. Lowko were to move up there, he get himself a free command center. But I don't think Lowko knows about it, of course, because he's just absolutely spread out everywhere.
Base is under attack.
Trying to get ourselves a little bit of supply cap and a little bit of damage there for Marchj coming from Lowko, but he's got the cloaked Banshees, sorry. But Lowko just not having it. There's the scan. And unfortunately, Marchj does get those Banshees out of the way, but if he doesn't move them now, he's going to start to lose them all. They're starting to go down as quickly as possible. Marchj pulling all of his SCVs to keep his command center up and going. So one could say that Lowko is doing a ton of economic damage while he is not killing SCVs. He is forcing his opponent to pull all of his SCVs off the mineral line to try and keep his command centers alive. Lowko, I think, just trying to figure out what he's going to do next and kind of go from there. He does have a couple of SCVs himself to keep all of his mech units alive and up and running and repaired. I think he's decided he's going to roll out. The natural, the main bases are just too well defended right now. He's going to roll out and go pick on something else. His opponent just playing a very heavy defense, but himself bringing in battle cruisers. There they are. His opponent bringing in battle cruisers as well. A couple of Cloak Banshees trying to do a little bit of harass on Lowko at his 4th base. Those aren't going to stay alive very much longer. Sure enough, they go down just fine. Marchj picking up yet another expansion across the map. So he pretty much just wants to expand everywhere except his own base, basically. He wants to go everywhere but his base. Because I think maybe he has it in his mind that that's what his opponent would be expecting, which is completely accurate. That is what his opponent is expecting. Lowko deciding he's just going to punish Marchj for doing this, and enough is enough. And there's a double command center at this. One gets canceled. Oh, this would be Lowko's command center. My apologies. He's going to decide, no, you can't have that one. I want that one. And he's actually going to do a double expand behind it. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like, yep, that's going to get canceled because the Banshee is sitting right there on top of it. It now looks like all the bases have been taken, save, nope, this one has been taken. This is the only one that has not been taken by either opponent. All the rest have been, and we're only 16 minutes into the game. Lowko playing a little bit more defensively to protect what assets he does have, seeing as how Marchj knows he's spread out absolutely everywhere and is not going to be able to protect absolutely everything. Problem is, I don't think Lowko knows about all of it. Yeah, he knows about most of it. He doesn't know about the 3 bases over here or the one back in the corner of this one, but he's probably at this point in time anticipating that his opponent has taken the rest of the bases for some silly reason, despite the fact he doesn't have any of them set up. I mean, these 2 are actually still building. There's the income for you, folks. Marchj actually sitting on a commanding supply. Oh, a bunch of Cloak Banshees trying to float into the base of Lowko. See what kind of economic damage they can do. Lowko just barely getting his turrets started to build, but it looks like his Banshees Marchj's Banshees are going to keep on going. But there's the scan. They all get just about dropped out of the sky. Only 4 of them actually managed to survive, and actually there's one more going to go down. Not quite. Marchj does get away with 4 of his Banshees, but took a ton of damage there. Here comes the scan. There goes the rest of them. 2 more are down. And that looks like that's all he's going to be able to manage to get without chasing further and getting an additional scan down. Lowko managed to pick off a number of those Banshees. Here we go, yet another command. Interesting. Just the mass command center for Marchj. That is the build. Mass command center. Here we go, a huge force, a completely maxed out army for Lowko rolling into one of these locations. He's going to siege up and absolutely just destroy this base right here. His opponent sitting on battle cruisers and liberators. Is it going to be enough to actually hold the line? It might be. Marchj doing a respectable job holding back Lowko's forces, and he does force Lowko back. Lowko sitting on that very heavy marine force right now, but Marchj doing a ton of air supply, a ton of air army. Manages to hold the line a little bit. Liberator set up their Liberator zone to pick off one dinky little siege tank. Not enough. This command center may go down, may not. He does have 7 SCVs trying to keep it up and alive and repaired. And for the moment, they seem to be doing an okay job. If Lowko decided to pick off those SCVs, that command center would drop in seconds. But there's the planetary. It's up and running now as well. Lowko deciding he's just gonna try and destroy the command center. Okay. Not doing a whole lot. Those SCVs doing a fantastic job. Oh, they've stopped repairing because it did get fully repaired. But by then, there are all of Marchj's Liberators and Vikings to push his force back. Lowko once again forced to put his tail between his legs and run home. Marchj holding off Lowko's massive army and doing incredible damage. So the question is now is what is Lowko's move from here? What is it that he could do to try and counteract this huge kind of Liberator Viking force? As that's what we're currently sitting on, at least that's what Marchj is sitting on. Just an incredible game. Looks like Lowko is sitting on +1/+1 Marines, and there are no air upgrades at all, with Marchj sitting on +2/+2 air upgrades. So he is definitely going for that heavy air force. So Marchj does have that heavy tech supply, or the heavy upgrade count, in comparison to Lowko's forces, but most of Marchj's forces are actually sitting on Vikings. He's got 10 Liberators, 2 Banshees, and 15 Vikings with only one single siege tank. And here we go, him trying to run into one of Lowko's bases, trying to do a little bit of damage. Decides to back out because I think he actually saw Lowko's army coming. Now Lowko himself is sitting on 6 battlecruisers, 38 Marines, 1 siege tank, and 11 Vikings. So the Viking count is getting up there to try and match Marchj's. But is it going to be enough? With the Marine count, it should be enough. Problem is that Marchj also has the Liberators as well, that when they can siege out and just do a ton of damage from the range, Lowko decided to pull a bunch of SCVs to try and get his battlecruisers repaired, which is not all that surprising. Those units are expensive. Drops a command center down at another mineral base to try and get some additional income. Seems how his income is absolutely it's in the toilet. There is just almost no income for Lowko, but his opponent Marchj is sitting on 2,200 and 1,800 gas. That's not terribly surprising, seeing how he has taken up every other base, except for the ones that Lowko has managed to pry out of his cold dead hands. Here we go, yet another push from Lowko, and here's the engagement. Are we going to burn down all these Liberators before they have a chance to siege out? It looks like they may go down, but the Vikings are right behind it to keep them all defended. Lowko's force just absolutely getting decimated here just due to the sheer Viking count out of Marchj. He did manage to get those Marines in from the background, kind of sneak around and start burning down Marchj's battlecruisers. Fairly even fight. Lowko is sitting on the one single battlecruiser and a handful of Marines. Able to sit there and defend it. The Marines will burn down the Vikings, since how the Vikings can only catch the air, but the battlecruiser, down it goes. I'd say all in all, Lowko did actually manage to pull out that fight. He did end up with a few more units than Marchj, but both armies just getting absolutely decimated. Here's kind of the catch, though, is that Marchj will be able to reinforce that all really quickly with the absolute huge income levels that he has. Lowko's going to have to work a little bit harder, since I just barely got this base. It's not anywhere near saturation. Just barely got that base up and running. And it's going to take some time to get that going before he's actually got the supply for it. So both players just kind of starting to resupply right now. Marchj is sitting on 108 SCVs to Lowko's 46. So he definitely has the income for it. Problem is that with 108 SCVs, it also means he has less supply for army. Well, Lowko's sitting at 46 SCVs. He's got more options for army supply, but of course his income is there. It is. Lowko says, you know what? Enough's enough. I don't know what the hell is really going on here. GG. You know, after watching this, I can see why Lowko had said, what the fuck happened in this game? Because even I'm kind of going through all of this and looking at it going, what is going on here? What is this opponent doing? What's happening? I don't know what I could have done. And I definitely towards the end there, as Lowko sitting on just a handful of supply and a handful of SCVs in comparison to Marchj and everything that he had, I could see how, you know what, the game's over and you win, as weird a strategy as that was. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll see you in the next one.